There's something interesting that I have been thinking about, probably more than over the last day or so, which is about the change and the speed of change. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when we set goals or we set intentions, we think on how long it might take us to get the change that we aspire to get or get the result that we aspire to get. But what I have been thinking about and having conversations with other people about is what if that time or that timeline or that period that we initially think that that's how long it's gonna take, what if it's not true? What if we're wrong? Meaning, or I think good example would be the my 70.3 Ironman. I For the most part, online, when I'll do research, it takes 6 to 8 months to prepare for Ironman or like half Ironman. And I have never done triathlon. I had no background. I hadn't even cycled on like road bike. I hadn't done open water swimming. I haven't done any of those things. And I signed up to half Ironman 90 days out. And I have no background. I have no coach. I have no program. I have no idea what I'm doing. And in those 90 days, there was a lot that I learned. And in the end, I did finish it. I finished it quicker than I thought I will. That was the first thing. I learned a lot in those 90 days. But also, another thing that I was quite surprised by was how much my body changed in those 90 days of the training. Because I would assume that I would have some results. But then when I looked at the before and after pictures, I couldn't believe because my weight hasn't changed that much. But visually, it was huge difference. And a lot of these experience or like me reflecting on those experiences, it's making me to think about how when we set, let's say I set some goals, what if the timeline that I put for it? Because a lot of times I would, and this is interesting, a lot of times I would catch myself putting it longer because I think like, well, I need to be realistic and stuff like that. But then I stop and think on, okay, what if me trying to be realistic is actually me limiting myself? And it's kind of like an interesting game to play. And I think over the next few months, I will actually try to challenge that and see if I can shrink some of the timelines and if I can change some of my assumptions of how quickly I can change. Because one thing that I have realized is that a lot of times we project things in the future based on our past. So if in the past it took me X amount of time to get to Y result, then now I assume that for me to get to the Z result, I will need to have this amount of time, which makes sense, reasonable thinking. But what if I'm wrong? What if it can actually happen quicker? Like it did happen with me with half Ironman. 90 days is really tight timeline, especially with no background in the sport, but I made it happen. And now it's a reality. So I think the message that I'm trying to communicate here is that whatever you think is possible for you, you might actually be wrong. You might actually be downplaying your abilities, or you might be putting some glass ceiling on what you think you can accomplish in whatever amount of the time or the time that you have gave yourself. Or maybe you might even be dismissing yourself or not giving yourself that opportunity to pursue something because in your mind it's like, well, it can't work out because of this or that, which for the most part is based in the past. And the past is the past. It doesn't mean that it's true now. So that's my kind of like thought or um just something that I have been pondering on that I feel like I want to explore a bit more through some of my life experiences and some of the things that I want to accomplish this year of seeing how much can I overcome those limits that I have put in myself that I might not even be aware that I have done or that I have put on myself. So what I would recommend to you is to try to see if you have put any limitations on yourself or any of the glass ceilings and then see if you can challenge yourself or if you can be curious about maybe I can find a way to do it quicker. Maybe I can find a way to go around this problem or this situation and find a result that I want to get quicker or better.